money? What the heck are they hoarding it for? You know?
Well, you make a fantastic point. In fact, this week...
See, Jack did not find it a fantastic point. I should have actually gone to you.
Well, here's the deal. All week long, we heard people in Washington telling Wall Street what they're supposed to do. You know, they shouldn't do this. They're supposed to do that. But to your original point about profits have become the de facto enemy here. And, I think it's going to hurt a lot. I think it's going to hurt all American corporations at some point. You make a fantastic point again that I'm saying this because you got me in Siberia today. But the reality is, though, is that companies are afraid. I mean, they're really intimidated when they post these profits, and they shouldn't be.
What do you think of that?
To Charles's war on profits, you see it not just in finance and the words thrown at executives there, but you saw it in the health care debate. The attacks on health insurance companies because they actually made money. And if you look at the largest health insurance companies in this country, their annual profits are less than 1% of our total health care spending.
See,
but they are still vilified.
I'm going to tip it even further, Daga. I don't think the official view in Washington is to like rich people, or to like people who are very successful, or to an added degree, people who are doing very well and living the American dream. I really do think there is a certain angst about it.
They ought to be careful, because who fills their coffers first and foremost? And those wealthy people. I'm talking about politicians. And who is going to pay for all of their spending? They're going to have to tax somebody. So they're attacking the American dream, and I don't think the Democrats fully understand that ultimate outcome.
I really couldn't disagree more. You know, I read a great book.
Well, then
by
obviously
a guy
you
who
didn't get the memo from Charles, did you?
No, I know.
Continue.
He got it, but Jack and I didn't. Because, look, I read a book by a guy who ran an industrial company called Jack Straight from the Gut, where Jack Welch talked about what a ridiculous business the investment banking business is. Am I right, Jack? You hated that business. And the American people and the president have a sense. Now, I'm not saying that this is my opinion necessarily, but they have a sense that that Wall Street kind of is cheating, Neil. They have nothing against people making a profit, making gobs of money. Google, Microsoft, Apple. The American people admire that.
No, they like distinction
profits.
here, my friend. I don't think they mind those guys making a profit. I really don't. Although they still have this anti-rich thing we could devote to on another show. But I really do think that certain industries, and I'm not talking about just investment banking, financials now, the healthcare guys before, the big money guys before. I'm just saying they're just not desirable. That's all I'm saying.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'll jump in because
I'll jump in because Adam brought up the point about there's an asterisk. There are certain people that we admire. I mean, and for some reason, the cool companies like the Googles and Apples can make all the money in the world, have these incredible profit margins. I think Google's net margin is maybe 5-10 times more than the healthcare insurers. But put that aside for a minute. We are going down a slippery slope. Profits have become an evil word, and we've heard it more and more from the White House, and it is going to actually, to Dagan's point, ultimately hurt the small people. It is going to hurt the American dream, and that's what I'm worried about. It's not an attack just on Wall Street. We've heard it with financials. We've heard it in the past with oil companies, and we're going to hear it in the future with other big industries.
You hit it on the head, Charles, really quickly. Energy, you watch the succession. It's healthcare, then finance, then industry. Don't act like technology is immune, because they'll be next.
Dagan, you can string together as many things as you like, but the conversation last week was about Wall Street. It's the sense that these companies not only kind of cheated, but they also did it with government assistance, and that's where the outrage is. And most reasonable people agree what that industry needs is better regulation. That's what the president and Congress is trying to accomplish right now.
Yeah, but the problem we have, Adam, and I agree with you, the problem we have is the process. We go after an industry, and then we get a 1,300-page bill. And in the bill comes along an attack on new business creation, on venture formation, on all these things that get tacked on. We have a process now that we go after something, whether it be insuring more people, getting rid of preconditions, and then we tack on all these terrible things that blow up the deficit. Then we have a process that says, we got to regulate derivatives more. Let's do that. Okay, that's a good idea. But now let's get a 1,300-page bill and start attacking all these things. The venture capital people did not, the angel investors did not participate in this mess in 08, 09.
But Jack, doesn't it go back to stuff you've written about? I mean, that you've got to be consistent, and you can't be a hypocrite. So all I was saying about the government's role in this whole thing of going after Wall Street abuse, if you're going to criticize an industry for putting things in such teeny fine print that no one reads, and you throw out a healthcare whose print its very backers and supporters apparently didn't read, you're in a big glass house.
No, I mean, look, that glass house is huge. Look at Fannie and Freddie. I mean,
right.
Come on. I mean, but nevertheless, we have a broken process. We are allowing hundreds of people to put together solutions to problems. You can't do that. You're going to have a chief executive with a clear vision, has his people make it happen and get the thing done right. And we're tacking on all these ornaments.
All right, well put. When we come back, Jersey has spoken. There's a new buff on the beach, and he has got his state's voters scaring the heck out of the big spenders in Washington.
Wow.